Welcome guys. Once again, today I'm gonna make curry goat, and you can see in my bowl in here, I have some goat meat in there, and it's all cut up in little pieces. I wash it in vinegar, rinse it nicely. Now I'm gonna season it up, and I'm gonna leave it in the fridge overnight to marinate, and then I'll show you how I cook the curry goat. You don't have to leave it in your fridge if you don't have the time. You can cook it right away. But the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add some salt, add some turmeric into it. I also use curry because I find that the blend of turmeric with curry give it this nice color, which I do love. Add in the curry to it, some paprika, garlic powder, black pepper, minced garlic, and I like to put a lot of garlic in my curry goat. So there. Don't worry if you don't have the time to season up beforehand and put it in the fridge. You can cook it right away as soon as you season it up. It's all up to you. Seasoning salt. And if you guys notice, I'm using mostly dry seasoning right now. Later on, I'll put the onions and thyme and whatever other seasoning I have. But right now, mostly I'm using dry seasoning. I have some pimento leaf. You can leave it whole like this, or you can crush it up. I like to leave it whole because I find that sometimes when you do it in little pieces like this, it doesn't cook out, and then you're eating and you're tasting these little bits and pieces. So I'm going to add the pimento leaf to it, allspice leaf. It's the same. Rub in my seasoning. Rub it all in there. Here guys, it's all finished. So I'm going to leave it to marinate, and then I'll come back and I'll show you how we make this delicious curry goat dish. Time for me to cook the curry goat. Remember now, I had it marinating. I did mine for overnight, but if you don't have that time to marinate your goat, you can cook it right away. Here is the goat. I'm adding some oil to my frying pan. And you don't need a lot of oil because the aim is not to fry, it's to tender cook your goat meat. Now I'm gonna add goat meat into my pan. Add some water. Want it to cook tender, you gotta make sure you add enough water in. After I put this amount of water in, I put about 3 cups, and I know that won't get it to where I need it to. Make sure everything is down in there in the water. Gonna cover up this and let it cook, and we'll check in as we go. So you see guys, see? Enough liquid. And also in the meantime, while this is cooking, I'm going to prepare my other seasoning, like my onions, thyme, and green onion, garlic, while this is cooking. I will not add that in till it almost cook. And also I'm going to add potatoes in there. Stay tuned. I'm checking in right now on my curry goat. You guys see how it look? I'm going to test a piece of the meat just to see how tender it is, and then that will determine how much cook time I still have. It need to be cooked more. Adding some more water to it. I have my kettle here that I boil with some hot water, and I'm going to pour it in there and cover it up and let it continue cooking. When I'm satisfied that the meat is tender, I will add my seasoning into it, and also potatoes. We're gonna check in again on the curry goat. And I'm gonna test it to see if the meat is tender, where I can put in the remainder of the seasoning and the potato in there. You don't want to put the potato too early in your curry goat. You want to put it near to the end, because if you put it too early, it will just cook out and get all mushy. So you want to have a little chunk in there when you're eating it. There it is. I'm using my fork to test it, and I can tell, just trying to, break a piece off, that the meat is not tender enough. Some more water in there. And this is the third time I'm putting water in there. And don't worry, aim is to get the meat tender, where when you use a fork and you cut into it, it just easily fall apart. Some more hot water in there from my kettle, and cover this up. And the next time I check in, I know it will be ready to put in the additional seasoning and potatoes. In this plate, I cut up some thyme, hot peppers, green onion, regular onion, garlic. I'm gonna add this to the curry goat now. I tested, it's tender enough for this to go in, but I'm still not gonna put in the potatoes until later on. Now, I'm gonna add all of the seasoning into it, my curry goat, and I'm gonna let it cook for a while longer before adding the potatoes. Make sure you combine it well with your goat, and this is gonna cook out. And then when I'm satisfied that it's all tender, and after, I'll add the potatoes to it. And remember guys, remember before I had seasoned up my curry goat, my dry ingredients and minced garlic. So now these are the additional seasoning that I'm putting into it. It's all bubbling up in there guys with all the additional seasoning I just add into it. Welcome, welcome. This is Lizmagic. For those who are new to my channel, thank you, thank you. Don't forget to like and subscribe and send me a comment. And for my usual and faithful people, thank you for always being there and supporting me. I do appreciate you guys. And you guys, don't forget to send your comment. Here is a piece of the goat. I'm just gonna test it to see how tender it is. See, look, you can pull it apart with your fork. That's how you know the goat is cooked. Add in the potatoes to it. After I add the potatoes, I'm gonna cover it up, let it cook for 15 minutes more, and then it should be ready to eat. Now I'm covering it up and let it finish up. It's finished. And as you can still see, the potato pieces are still firm together. That's how you want it. And you have a nice sauce in there going on. You want to leave as much sauce as you can into it. So guys, it's all finished and ready to eat. Delicious bowl of curry goat. I'm gonna serve this with some rice and peas. Here it is guys, my curry goat served with some rice and peas. Bing, just like magic.